First contact in the frost. The Antarctic wind howled across the research station's reinforced walls as Dr. Rowan Nash adjusted his thermal imaging equipment. 3 weeks of anomalous energy readings had led to this moment, and despite the biting cold, excitement coursed through his veins. The facility's warning lights cast an eerie red glow across the pristine white landscape, marking the biggest scientific discovery of the century, if he could prove it. Base, this is Nash. I'm picking up those energy signatures again, stronger this time, he reported through his comm unit, watching his breath crystallize in the -40-degree air. They're coming from grid section E7, about 2 kilometers east of my position. Copy that, Dr. Nash. Commander Pierce's voice crackled through the radio. But you need to wait for the security team. That storm system is moving in fast. Rowan glanced at the dark clouds gathering on the horizon, then back at his readings. The energy spike was unprecedented. Waiting wasn't an option. Sorry, Commander. Signal's too strong to ignore. I'm moving to investigate. He switched off his radio before Pierce could object and began trudging through the snow. His specialized suit protected him from the worst of the cold, but each step still required careful consideration. The Antarctic summer was ending, and soon the continent would plunge into months of darkness. The energy signature grew stronger as he approached, his handheld detector's steady beeping increasing in frequency. Then he saw it, a deep gouge in the ice, stretching for nearly half a kilometer. Steam rose from the trench, suggesting whatever had crashed had done so recently, and with tremendous heat, Rowan followed the trench, his heart pounding. The ice beneath his boots had partially melted and refrozen, creating a treacherous path. As he rounded a particularly large ice formation, he stopped dead in his tracks. Before him lay a vessel unlike anything humanity had ever created. Its hull gleamed with an iridescent sheen, organic curves flowing like liquid metal frozen in time. The ship was relatively small, perhaps 30 meters in length, and had clearly suffered damage. The large section of the hull had been torn away, revealing crystalline structures within that pulsed with a soft, blue-white light. "My God," Rowan whispered, fumbling with his camera. As he documented the discovery, movement caught his eye. Something was emerging from the damaged section of the ship. A figure stumbled out, its form humanoid but distinctly alien. The being appeared to be made of the same crystalline material as the ship's interior, its surface reflecting and refracting light in complex patterns. It moved with obvious difficulty, leaving a trail of glowing droplets in the snow, blood, or something similar. The alien took 3 more steps before collapsing. Without thinking, Rowan rushed forward. As he approached, he could see the being more clearly. Its form was feminine, with delicate crystalline features that seemed to shift and flow like liquid glass. Where the creature was damaged, hairline fractures spread across its surface, leaking luminescent fluid. "Hold on," Rowan said, knowing the alien probably couldn't understand him, but hoping his tone would convey his intent to help. "I'm not going to hurt you." The being's eyes opened, geometric patterns of light that focused on him with surprising intensity. When it spoke, its voice was like wind chimes in a gentle breeze, creating sounds unlike any human language. Rowan reached for his medical kit, but the alien's hand shot out, grabbing his wrist. The touch was warm despite its crystalline appearance, and in that moment of contact, something extraordinary happened. Images flooded Rowan's mind. A distant star system, a desperate escape, pursuers that devoured light itself. He gasped as the connection broke, stumbling backward in the snow. The alien, her name was Nyra, he somehow knew, tried to stand again but failed. "Nash." Commander Pierce's voice boomed across the ice. The security team had arrived, their weapons trained on Nyra. "Step away from it. Now." "Wait." Rowan positioned himself between the security team and Nyra. "She's injured. She needs help." "That's not your call, Doctor," Pierce said, advancing with his weapon raised. "We don't know what we're dealing with. This is now a military operation. Rowan stood his ground, feeling Nyra's warm touch on his ankle. More images filled his mind. Destruction, pursuit, a desperate need for sanctuary. He understood with sudden clarity that this wasn't just a chance encounter. This was humanity's first contact with an advanced civilization, and how they handled it would define our species. "Commander," Rowan said, his voice steady despite the cold and fear, "if we treat her as a threat, we prove ourselves unworthy of the stars. She's seeking asylum. Help me save her, and we might just save ourselves in the process." The wind picked up, driving snow between them as Pierce considered his words. Behind them, Nyra's ship hummed with failing power, its lights flickering like a fading heartbeat. The next few moments would change everything, for better or worse. The storm was almost upon them now, and with it would come darkness. But Rowan Nash had already made his choice. He would either help this alien visitor and open humanity's eyes to a larger universe, or he would fail trying. Either way, nothing would ever be the same again. Trust among the ice. The research station's medical bay hummed with activity as Rowan watched Dr. Simone Desai examine Nyra. The crystalline being lay on a specialized cooling pad, her luminescent form casting prismatic patterns across the sterile white walls. 3 days had passed since the crash, and despite Commander Pierce's protests, the scientific team had convinced military command that treating their visitor was crucial for diplomatic relations. "Her molecular structure is unlike anything we've ever encountered," Dr. Desai murmured, reviewing holographic scans. "The crystalline matrix appears to be self-repairing, but the process is slow. She's healing, but she needs time." Rowan nodded, his attention fixed on Nyra's shifting patterns of light. Since their first touch-based communication, he had been working on understanding her language. The images she shared were becoming clearer, more detailed, but they also grew more disturbing. "Dr. Nash," Nyra's voice chimed softly, her geometric eyes focusing on him. "Come. Show you. Important." Her English was broken but improving rapidly. Rowan approached, and she reached for his hand. The moment their skin made contact, the medical bay dissolved into a cascade of images. He saw vast crystal cities orbiting distant suns, civilizations that had flourished for millennia. Then darkness spread across the stars, consuming everything in its path. The Void Hunters, she called them, entities that fed on light and life itself. "My people, the Luminary," Nyra explained through the mental link. "We are scattered now, running, hiding. Your world, Earth, it has something they want, something they fear." The connection broke as Commander Pierce entered the medical bay, his boots clicking against the floor. "Dr. Nash," a word. It wasn't a request. In the hallway, Pierce's expression was grim. "We've detected multiple objects entering the solar system. They're using some kind of stealth technology, but our deep space arrays caught their gravitational signatures. Whatever's coming, it's big." Rowan's blood ran cold. The Void Hunters. They followed her. "Then she's brought war to our doorstep," Pierce growled. "Maybe we should hand her over, save ourselves the trouble." "You don't understand," Rowan argued. "They're not here because of her. They're here because of us. Earth has something they want, or fear. We need her help to understand what that is." Before Pierce could respond, alarms blared throughout the facility. Dr. Desai burst into the hallway, her dark eyes wide. "She's gone." Nyra's disappeared. Rowan rushed back into the medical bay, finding only an empty cooling pad. But something caught his eye, a trail of faint luminescent droplets leading toward the engineering section. He followed without hesitation, knowing Pierce and his security team wouldn't be far behind. He found her in the station's power core, her crystalline form interfaced with the facility's main reactor. The air crackled with energy as she manipulated controls that shouldn't have been compatible with her alien physiology. "Nyra, stop. What are you doing?" "Protecting," she chimed, her voice resonating with harmonics that made the metal walls vibrate. Your world has natural defense, ancient technology, sleeping beneath ice. Must awaken it before they arrive. Security forces burst in, weapons raised, but Rowan stepped between them and Nyra. Commander, wait. She's trying to help us. The room's lights flickered as energy surged through the station's systems. Deep beneath the ice, something ancient stirred. Nyra's form glowed brighter, her crystalline structure channeling power in ways that defied human understanding. Nash, Pierce warned, step aside. No, Rowan stood his ground. Commander, look at the readings. Whatever she's doing, it's not attacking our systems, it's upgrading them. She's giving us a fighting chance. The facility shuddered as vast mechanisms activated deep below. On monitors throughout the station, new data streamed in patterns that merged human and luminary code. Nyra was building a bridge between their technologies, preparing Earth for what was coming. The Void Hunters believe your world holds the key to their destruction. Nyra explained, her voice stronger now. They are right. Beneath this ice lies a network of ancient defenses, left by those who came before. My people learned from them, became their successors. Now it is humanity's turn. Pierce lowered his weapon slowly, his tactical mind processing the implications. How long do we have? Days, perhaps less. Nyra's geometric eyes met Rowan's. Will you help me complete the awakening? Will you trust me to show your people the way? Rowan looked at Pierce, then back at Nyra. In her crystalline form, he saw not just an alien being, but a reflection of humanity's potential future among the stars. Yes, he said. We trust you. The commander nodded grimly. I'll contact command. Dr. Nash, you and Dr. Desai work with her. Figure out what these defenses are and how to use them. The rest of you, prepare the facility for potential evacuation. As the security team filed out, Rowan turned to Nyra. Show me everything. Show me how to help. She reached for him once more, and this time the images that filled his mind were not of destruction, but of hope. Ancient technologies merging with human innovation, a path forward through the darkness that was coming. Together, they began the race against time, knowing that somewhere above, the Void Hunters were drawing near, bringing with them a darkness that threatened to extinguish all light in the cosmos. Shields of deception. The ancient machinery beneath the ice awakened with a deep resonance that shook the entire research station. Rowan watched in awe as holographic displays materialized around Nyra, showing vast networks of underground structures that had laid dormant for millennia. Dr. Desai worked frantically at her station, correlating the new data with their existing geological surveys. These structures, she breathed, they're everywhere. Not just Antarctica. They form a global network. How did we never detect this? They were sleeping, Nyra explained, her crystalline form pulsing with energy as she interfaced with the ancient systems, waiting for the right frequency, the right touch. Through their mental connection, Rowan saw glimpses of the civilization that had built these defenses. They were beings of pure energy who had transcended physical form, and the luminary were their chosen inheritors. But there was something else, something Nyra wasn't sharing. There's more, isn't there? He pressed. Something about Earth specifically. Before she could respond, Commander Pierce burst into the control room. We've lost contact with our lunar outposts, all of them simultaneously. He pulled up a tactical display showing the solar system. Whatever's coming, it's accelerating. The room erupted into action as military personnel and scientists coordinated their response. Dr. Desai's fingers flew across her console, integrating their modern systems with the ancient network Nyra had awakened. But Rowan noticed something odd in the data streams, patterns that seemed intentionally hidden. Nyra, he said quietly, moving closer to her, what aren't you telling us? Her geometric eyes flickered, patterns shifting in what he had learned to recognize as distress. The Void Hunters, they are not what you think, what even my people believe. She hesitated, then touched his hand, sharing a truth that made his blood run cold. The images that filled his mind showed a different history. The energy beings hadn't transcended. They had been transformed. The Void Hunters were their own creation, an attempt to evolve beyond physical form that had gone horrifically wrong. They didn't hunt the luminary out of malice, but desperation. They were trying to reverse their transformation, and the crystalline biology of the luminary held the key. But Earth, Rowan whispered, understanding dawning, we're not just a backup plan for your people. We're the original template. Human DNA contains the pattern they need. Yes, Nyra confirmed. My people, we were created to protect humanity, to shepherd your evolution until you were ready to know the truth. The Void Hunters would consume your entire species in their attempt to restore themselves. A distant boom shook the facility. Pierce rushed to the monitors. Multiple objects entering the atmosphere. They're here. Rowan looked at Nyra, anger and understanding warring in his chest. You should have told us everything from the start. Would you have believed me? Her chimes were soft, apologetic. Would you have accepted that your species was engineered to inherit the stars? That my people were created to be your guardians? Another explosion rocked the station. Through the reinforced windows, dark shapes descended from the clouds, absorbing all light around them. The Void Hunters had arrived, and with them came a darkness deeper than the Antarctic night. It doesn't matter now. Commander Pierce interrupted. We need to activate these defenses. Dr. Nash, Dr. Desai, tell me you have something. Dr. Desai nodded, her dark eyes reflecting the holographic displays. The network is online, but there's a problem. The main control node, it's not here. According to these readings, it's in the most inaccessible place on Earth. The Mariana Trench, Nyra confirmed. The deepest point, where the first of us made contact with your ancestors. Pierce swore under his breath. We don't have time to mount a deep-sea expedition. Those things will overtake us in hours. There is another way, Nyra said, her form brightening. My ship, it can reach the node. But the damage. She looked at Rowan. I will need help. Human insight combined with luminary knowledge. Outside, the darkness spread like spilled ink across the sky. The temperature in the station plummeted as the Void Hunters began absorbing energy from everything around them. They were searching, hunting, drawing ever closer to the source of the genetic pattern they so desperately sought. I'll go with you, Rowan said firmly. We repair the ship, reach the node, activate the defenses. The rest of you evacuate the station, coordinate with global military forces, buy us time. Commander Pierce nodded grimly. You have 1 hour to get that ship flying. After that, we implement the Scorched Earth Protocol. We burn everything rather than let them have it. As they rushed toward Nyra's crashed vessel, Rowan's mind raced. The truth about humanity's origins, the role of the luminary, the tragic nature of the Void Hunters, it all painted a picture more complex than simple good versus evil. They weren't just fighting for survival now. They were fighting to prevent a tragedy from repeating itself. Dr. Desai's voice crackled over their comms as they reached the ship. The Void Hunters, they're changing course. Something's drawing them to your location. They know. Rowan looked at Nyra as they climbed into the damaged craft, ready to make history again. Her crystalline features shifted in what he now recognized as a smile. With humanity by our side, we already have. Echoes of resistance. Nyra's ship hummed to life beneath their hands, crystalline systems merging with human ingenuity. Rowan's understanding of her technology had grown exponentially through their mental link, allowing him to help repair crucial systems. The vessel's organic hull sealed itself as they worked, preparing for the journey ahead. Void Hunters approaching your position. Dr. Desai's voice crackled through their comms. Thermal signatures dropping rapidly. The entire region is freezing. Through the ship's translucent hull, Rowan watched darkness spread across the Antarctic sky. The Void Hunters moved like living shadows, their forms seeming to bend reality itself. Each one was massive, easily dwarfing Nyra's vessel. They're trying to trap us, Nyra chimed, her hands dancing across crystalline controls. "Freeze us in place." The ship shuddered as its systems came fully online. Displays materialized around them, showing the vessel's status in flowing patterns of light. Rowan felt the mental interface strengthen, allowing him to understand the alien technology as if he'd trained with it for years. "Commander Pierce," he called over the comm, "we're ready for launch. What's the situation topside?" "Bad," Pierce responded, his voice tight. "Military forces engaging worldwide, but conventional weapons pass right through them. They're absorbing everything we throw at them. Major cities are going dark. You need to move. Now." The ship lifted off just as ice began crawling up its hull. They shot into the darkness, weaving between the massive forms of the Void Hunters. Each entity they passed sent waves of cold through the vessel, trying to drain its energy. "The ship's core is stable," Rowan reported, monitoring the systems. "But we're bleeding power every time they get close." Nyra's form pulsed with concentration, initiating quantum slip. "Hold tight." The world outside blurred as they accelerated, breaking through the Void Hunter's perimeter. But the entities weren't giving up. They pursued, stretching across the sky like streams of living darkness. "Dr. Desai," Rowan called, "what's the fastest route to the Mariana Trench?" "Sending coordinates now." "But there's a problem. The Void Hunters are establishing a global network. They're literally darkening the entire planet, creating a web we can't escape." Through their mental link, Rowan felt Nyra's determination. She pushed the ship harder, its crystalline structure resonating with power. They crossed continents in minutes, the ocean appearing beneath them like a vast, dark mirror. "Multiple contacts converging," Pierce warned. "They're hurting you." Rowan studied the tactical display, an idea forming. "Nyra, the ancient defenses, they're not just in the trench, are they? The whole network is connected." "Yes," she confirmed. "Each node contains a fraction of the whole. Then we don't need to reach the main control point. We just need to activate enough of the secondary nodes to create a chain reaction." He pointed to the display. "Look, there's one near here, in an undersea volcano." Nyra's geometric eyes brightened with understanding. "It would be dangerous. The power requirements would drain your ship completely," Rowan finished. "But it's our only chance." They dove toward the ocean, the ship's hull transforming to withstand the pressure. Behind them, the Void Hunters merged into a single massive entity, a wave of darkness that threatened to engulf them completely. "All stations," Pierce's voice came through. "The enemy is consolidating. Whatever you're planning, do it fast. We're losing the upper atmosphere." The ship plunged into the ocean depths, its crystalline structure glowing brighter to illuminate the darkness. They could feel the pressure mounting as they descended, the vessel groaning under the strain. "There," Nyra indicated, highlighting a formation that didn't appear on any human maps. "The volcanic node." They maneuvered into position, but the darkness followed them down, turning the ocean water to ice in its wake. The Void Hunters were learning, adapting, becoming more desperate in their pursuit. Initiating interface, Nyra announced, her form beginning to glow intensely. "Rowan, I need you to help channel the power. Our minds must be completely linked." He reached for her without hesitation, their consciousness merging more deeply than ever before. Through her eyes, he saw the true nature of the ancient network, not just a weapon, but a key to unlocking humanity's next stage of evolution. The ship's core pulsed with energy as they began the activation sequence. Above them, the Void Hunters pressed closer, drawn by the power they sensed. The ocean itself seemed to hold its breath as two civilizations' technologies merged, guided by the combined will of human and luminary. "Energy spike detected," Dr. Desai reported. "It's working. The node is responding." But as power flowed through the ancient systems, Rowan felt something else through his link with Nyra. A deep sadness and a terrible certainty about what had to happen next. "Nyra," he started, recognizing her intent. There has to be another way. Her crystalline features softened. My people were created to protect yours, Rowan, to ensure you would be ready for this moment. Now, I must complete that purpose. Dawn of Unity. Rowan felt the weight of Nyra's decision through their mental link. She intended to channel her entire crystalline essence into the node, using herself as a catalyst to trigger the ancient network. The power would cascade through every defense point on Earth, creating a shield that would not just stop the Void Hunters, but offer them redemption. The transformation goes both ways, she explained, her voice chiming with emotion. What turned them into darkness can be reversed. But it requires a bridge, a being that exists between their original form and humanity's pattern. You, Rowan whispered, you're going to sacrifice yourself to save both species. The ship's hull creaked under the immense pressure of the deep ocean. Above them, the Void Hunters' presence turned the water to crystal, their darkness reaching down like grasping fingers toward the vessel. Dr. Nash. Commander Pierce's voice crackled through the comm. The situation is critical. Major population centers are freezing. The darkness is spreading faster than we can evacuate. Through their link, Rowan shared Nyra's memories of her people's long vigil over Earth, watching humanity grow, waiting for this moment. He felt her joy at finally meeting humans face to face, her wonder at their potential, and her deep conviction about what had to be done. There has to be another way, he insisted, his hand tightening on hers. Let me help. Use my DNA, my energy instead. No, she chimed softly. You are needed for what comes next. Humanity must guide both species into the future. That was always the plan. The Void Hunters pressed closer, their vast consciousness recognizing what was about to happen. The ship's systems began to overload as Nyra channeled power into the volcanic node. Her crystalline form glowed brighter, fractures appearing across her surface. All stations, Dr. Desai's voice came through. We're detecting massive energy signatures worldwide. Every defense node is activating simultaneously. Rowan felt Nyra's consciousness beginning to fragment as she poured her essence into the ancient systems. Through their fading link, he caught glimpses of possible futures, humanity reaching for the stars, helping both the Luminary and the restored Void Hunters build something new together. Stay with me, he pleaded, supporting her as her form became increasingly unstable. I will always be part of this, she assured him, her voice now barely a whisper. In the network, in the changes coming to your people, in the bridge we built together. The ship's interior blazed with light as Nyra's transformation reached its peak. The Void Hunters above sensed the change and surged toward them, no longer trying to absorb energy, but desperately seeking connection with what they recognize as their salvation. It's time, Nyra said. Her geometric eyes met Rowan's one last time. Thank you for showing me humanity's true heart. Her crystalline form shattered into pure energy, merging with the ancient machinery. The ship's systems erupted with power as the cascade began. Through the fading remnants of their mental link, Rowan felt the network awakening worldwide, felt Nyra's consciousness spreading through it like sunlight breaking through clouds. The effect on the Void Hunters was immediate and breathtaking. Their darkness began to transform, shifting through spectrums of light as their original form was restored. The process spread across the globe, each converted entity adding its power to the transformation of others. My God, Pierce breathed over the comm. The sky, it's full of light. Rowan guided the failing ship back to the surface, watching through its crystalline hull as the world was transformed. Where the Void Hunters had brought darkness, now curtains of aurora-like energy rippled across the sky. The beings themselves became visible as towers of pure light, their restored consciousness reaching out to humanity with gratitude and wonder. Dr. Desai's voice came through filled with awe. The readings are off the charts. Whatever she did, it's affecting human DNA too. We're detecting subtle changes in energy patterns worldwide. The next step in human evolution, Rowan murmured, remembering Nyra's visions, just as she promised. As the ship broke the ocean's surface into a dawn unlike any in human history, Rowan felt a final touch of Nyra's consciousness. Not gone, but transformed, now part of the network that would guide humanity's growth. Her sacrifice had not just saved Earth, but had opened the door to a future where three species, human, luminary, and the restored energy beings, could grow together. Commander Pierce's voice returned, softer now. "Dr. Nash, what do we do next?" Rowan watched the play of light across the sky, feeling the subtle changes already beginning in his own DNA, sensing the vast potential that awaited. "We do what humanity does best," he replied. "We adapt. We grow. We reach for the stars." He smiled, feeling Nyra's essence in the energy around him. "But this time, we don't go alone." The ship's crystalline hull hummed beneath his hands as he set course for home, its systems forever changed by its brief time with Nyra. Above him, the transformed void hunters danced in patterns of light, celebrating their redemption. And somewhere in the ancient network that circled the globe, Nyra's consciousness continued her people's mission, not just protecting humanity, but helping them become something greater. As dawn broke over a changed Earth, humanity faced not an ending, but a beginning. The rescue of one alien woman had led not to war or conquest, but to transformation and unity. It was the start of a journey that would take them beyond the stars, guided by the light of understanding that Nyra had sacrificed everything to ignite. When asked later about that historic day, Rowan would always smile and say the same thing. "We thought we were rescuing her, but in truth, she was rescuing us. She showed us what we could become." And in the shimmer of aurora that now permanently graced Earth's skies, Nyra's legacy continued to light the way forward for all three civilizations, united in their journey toward the infinite possibilities that awaited them among the stars.